Oh man, it's been a long time. But welcome back to my Dream MMO, where I talk about what would be in my Dream MMO. And remember, this is my Dream MMO. So if you're thinking of telling me how dumb my idea is or how it won't work, feel free to shut the f up. Something that's been on my mind lately is events. I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2, which kind of reminded me about something I want in my Dream MMO. Truly dynamic events. And I do mean truly dynamic. Guild Wars 2 says it has these, but that's bullshit. While I do find some of the events in Guild Wars 2 fun, they are far from dynamic. They are repeatable quests that occur on a timer or are triggered by a certain action. But at the end of the day, they're always still the same. Why? Because they're still built on code. Code can never be dynamic. Code has rules, and no matter what, it can't stray outside of its own parameters, unless it's controlled by humans or by an artificial intelligence. These events are automated. They are not controlled by humans, and we don't have AI yet, so not dynamic. Luckily, I have examples of my idea, as it's already been done in other games. I am speaking of MUDs. I remember playing a MUD a long time ago where the developers and GMs would take on the role of the bad guys and spawn a truly dynamic event that had actual consequences. What does that mean? Well, I remember one specific instance where the GMs led a group of orcs into one of the game's largest main cities, slaughtering NPC guards, players, basically anyone in their path. Eventually, they got to the NPC in charge of the city, killed him, and hung him up in town square. The city was then under orc control for nearly 2 months. Yes, we players completely lost control of one of the only major cities in the game for nearly 2 months. I'm sorry, but the fact that this kind of thing could happen is f***ing awesome. Now, I know what you're thinking, but cities are supposed to be safe places where people can go AFK and just hang out. I don't want to have to worry about that kind of stuff. First, stop living in the past. This ain't your normal f***ing MMO, which, judging by comments I see every day, people are tired of anyway, so shut up. Second, the orcs didn't take over in a day. It took a few days for the orcs to break down the walls and wipe us all out. We had the chance to stop them, we just didn't. So in those few days, you had the chance to flee the city. If you didn't and then died, you had it coming. And third, I am tired of game worlds that are static. Why wouldn't orcs try to invade a human city? Why should you be safe in a city? Heck, I remember in World of Warcraft a horde guild doing exactly this. They invaded Stormwind. It was hilarious to watch them halfway succeed and kill a ton of players in the process. But there were no actual consequences. Nothing happened. They didn't take over Stormwind. Why shouldn't they be able to take over Stormwind? They invaded. They killed all of us. I don't understand. It's lame. Strangely, the one MMO that I've actually seen do this recently is Firefall. They were holding events at one point where the devs would take over a world boss and just wreck people. A player-controlled enemy. Now that is dynamic. Another event that occurred in one of my MUDs was a week-long zombie outbreak during Halloween. If you fought a zombie and got infected by their disease and didn't get cured by a healer fast enough, you became a zombie for the rest of the week. Now, this whole event could have ended early if players had attempted to track down the source of the disease and destroy it, but no one did. They were having too much fun being zombies and trying to infect their friends. Again, I know what you're thinking, but I have other stuff to do in-game. I don't want to have to deal with that crap. That's a week I could be doing something else. To which I respond, well, then you better flee to a less populated area for a week, otherwise you're gonna end up a part of the zombie horde. It happens in life, it happens in the game. Either deal with it or get the f*** out. Now, this doesn't have to just be limited to events per se, even though that's the title of the video. I think it would be interesting for devs and GMs to screw with people. Let's say your raid party has prepared to take on a certain boss. You've studied all his mechanics and you're ready to take him down. But when you get there, you find that a GM has taken the boss over and all of your planning is moot. Guess what? It's time to improvise, bitch. Now, this might also piss a lot of people off. We can't prepare or strategize against something when it might change randomly or behave erratically. Welcome to life, moron. And in all seriousness, wouldn't this be a better test of your group's eliteness? The ability to change and adapt and take on something you can't plan for, rather than watching a YouTube strategy video and following it to the letter? Think about the bragging rights you would have if you took down a raid boss controlled by a dev. Additional benefit, this would actually get the devs to play their own game. Do you know how many devs actually don't play their own games? You would be really surprised. I'm constantly confused as to how these developers make changes to their game when they don't even know how it works. It makes no sense. Having devs take part in these dynamic events would help them see how players are interacting within the game and how to tweak things. Anyway, I know all of this is likely very divisive. Some people will think it's dumb and hate it, some people will think it's cool, some people will think it goes too far, some people will think it doesn't go too far enough. Here's what I say. I have seen far too many people bitch about how they're tired of playing the same old MMO. This would be something different. So quit your bitching! That was my Dream MMO video on events. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I put out a new one every week. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook, or you can come chat with us on Discord. And if you really want to help out the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. I would make them each a raid boss, and I would make all of their abilities insta-kills. That'll teach you to leave negative comments on my videos.